الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا مولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله الله تعالى بالهدى ودين الحق ليظهره على الدين كله وكفى بالله شهيدا أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وإن خير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وإن شر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. All praise to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and peace and blessings be upon His prophets and messengers, all the prophets and messengers of Allah, from Adam alayhi salam to Nuh alayhi salam to Ibrahim alayhi salam to Musa alayhi salam, Isa alayhi salam, and the last and the final prophet Muhammad salawatullahi wasalamu alayhi wa alayhim ajma'een. I bear witness that there is no God except Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad salawatullahi wasalamu alayhi is his last prophet and messenger. There is a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ reported by Imam Bukhari and Imam Muslim. In this hadith, Rasulullah ﷺ said, Al-imanu bid'un wa sittun, aw qala bid'un wa sab'una shu'bah. أفضلها لا إله إلا الله وأدناها إماتة الأذى عن الطريق والحياء شعبة من الإيمان. The hadith says, reported by Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, faith has more than 60, or the Ravi says, or he said, more than 70 branches. The topmost is to affirm that there is no deity except Allah. And the downward is the removal of obstacles from the road, from the path. And the modesty is a branch of faith. It's a short hadith, but it is very profound and very powerful. It tells us what is Islamic life is all about. It brings to our attention several important points about our Islamic life. First thing, the Prophet ﷺ said that Iman has branches. That Iman is not simply just to say La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, but Iman has various aspects. And the word for that is shu'ab. Shu'ab could be like branches of a tree, and shu'ab could be the parts and the divisions, aspects, whatever you can translate that. The word shu'ab can be established in that way. And then Rasulullah ﷺ said, it is more than 60, or according to one report, more than 70. What does it mean? The meaning is that it's not an exact number, because Rasulullah himself, bid'un wa sittun or bid'un wa sab'un, more than 70 or more than 60. So the meaning is, yes, there are many, many branches. Our ulama, of course, many of them try to see what are those 70 branches and what are those 60 branches. So a number of them, they wrote books. And these books are known as Shu'abul Iman, the branches of the faith. Imam Bukhari himself, in his Kitab al-Iman, mentions that. Imam Muslim, in his Sahih Muslim, he has a whole section on Iman where he mentions several aspects of Iman. Why Rasulullah used the word 60 and 70? We know from the example of many other ahadith as well as Arabic language style that these numbers were used to emphasize multiplicity. There are many aspects of Iman, not necessarily to limit it to this number. but to emphasize that different aspect, many aspects of Iman. Now Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he told us that there is A'la and there is Adna. So the Iman has a high branch and Iman has a low branch, just like in a tree. High branches, low branches. Or there is something upward and there is something downward. The ulama say the upward means that something that is obligatory, something that is required, that every person must have that, every Muslim must have that. And all the time. It's not only part-time, sometime, but all the time you have to do that. And so he said, A'laha la ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah is our way of life. La ilaha illallah is our motto. La ilaha illallah is our way to recognize that there is no God except Allah. So that is the highest. Without it, of course, there is no Iman. So that's why we call it A'laha. Adna is something that is recommended. So you can say something recommended. It could be something obligatory at some time. But generally it is something always, it's a recommended thing to do that. So, and one of them example he gave is Imatatul Adha Anit Tariq, removing the obstacle from the road. So there are three important points are mentioned in this hadith. One of them is, the topmost is the declaration of Tawheed. Tawheed, the essence, Tawheed, the essential, the most important aspect of Iman. There is no Iman without Tawheed. The second point that you mentioned is the downward aspect of faith is the removal of the obstacle from the path. And the third thing is, he said, modesty is a branch of faith. Al-haya'u shu'batun min al-iman. Modesty, after all these different branches of 70 or 60, he pointed out to modesty, al-haya. Al-haya'u shu'batun min al-iman. So a person want to have faith, he or she must declare La ilaha illallah. Of course, the completion of that is La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah, because Muhammad Rasulullah is the one who has given this message or emphasized among all the prophets of Allah. He is the last prophet, and he brought this point. All the prophets were teaching the same thing, La ilaha illallah. There is no prophet who said anything else. There is no God except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everybody said that. But the final one who emphasized this point, and recognizing him means recognizing all those who were before him, was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we say, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. So there is no God except Allah. There is no deity. There is no one worthy of worship except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this means affirming Allah's deity, Allah's divinity, and at the same time it is also the negation of anyone else to be called God. There is no other God. There is no one who God beside Allah or other than Allah. There is no one who to be called with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, na'udhu billah, that there is no one beside him. That's also shirk. Or to say there are many gods, or to say that there is anyone other than Allah who is God. Na'udhu billahi min dhalik. All of this is wrong. And Tawheed means to recognize Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Only Allah is to be called God and nobody else to be called God. But there is another aspect of that. And that aspect is mentioned by our great master of spirituality, who was one of the shuyukh of Taifa, who is one of the leaders of a Sufi understanding. And he really emphasized Sharia, so there is no denial of that. He emphasized Allah's laws and the rules. So he was a very authentic spiritual leader. It was Imam Junaid Baghdadi, rahimahullah. And Imam Junaid Baghdadi, in his explanation of Tawheed, what is Tawheed? What is La ilaha illallah? He said it very beautifully, Isbatun la nafiya fih. ونفي لا إثبات معه وفنى بين الحالين ثم فنى عن ذلك الفنى حتى لا يكون له حين ولا عنه أخبار. Very profound explanation that he gave about Tawheed. What is Tawheed? He said Tawheed is to say yes without any no. It's an affirmation without any negation. And it is a negation with which there is no affirmation. And then you get absorbed into this. ثم فنى في ذلك الحالين في تلك الحالين. And you become totally absorbed in these two, in this yes and no, in this affirmation and negation. And then you become totally absorbed, that from this absorption become absorbed until there is no time and no news. That means until the end, until you have no time, until there is no news about you. That means you're gone from this world. So from the moment that you recognize that, you live with this until you die. That is what Tawheed is. His mention is, he's emphasizing this point that there is no negation. There is affirmation in which there is no negation. That is, when you say yes to Allah, then don't say yes with any if and but and except and though. Yes, Allah is the Lord. Allah is Allah. Allah is the God. It's not that maybe possible, something like that. No. He is my Lord. He is my Master. He is my Sovereign. I submit to Him. So that is the yes. And this yes should be absolute yes. This is what Iman means. It's absolute yes. And at the same time you are saying no, La ilaha. That means there is no one who can take away my loyalty away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Regardless whosoever that person may be. No person, no power, no principality, no authority, no government, no superpower. No one can take away my loyalty from Allah. So this is nafi la isbata ma'ah. Absolute denial of any authority over Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Beside Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, everything is under Allah. So nafyun la isbata ma'ah. And you get absorbed into this. This becomes part of your life. Hal. You know, our Sufia, they use the word maqam and hal. Maqam is your position and hal is your state. This becomes your state. This is the way you live. So he says, summa fana bain al-halain. And then you get total fana, totally absorbed into that. That is, this becomes your part of life, this becomes your way of life. This becomes your, not only just mentally you're recognizing that, but you are also psychologically, emotionally, you're all involved into that. And this should be there all the time. So that means you can see that Tawheed has to grow every day within ourselves. Tawheed is not just simply say, La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Of course, this is very important, but you have to grow in this Tawheed. Tawheed to ye hai ki khuda hashr mein keh de, ye banda do alam se khafa mere liye hai. Somebody said it very nicely. He said that this is Tawheed. That you are saying, I have nothing with the world except Allah. Allah is absolute for me. I can live everything except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is a'laha. This is the Iman. And this Iman, we have to grow into that. And we have to work it out. And we have to do that by reading the Quran. We have to do that by doing the Salat. And we have to do that with the zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, that Imam Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu said, Iltamis qalbaka fi salasi mawatin. Check your heart at 3 times. When you are praying, when you are reading the Quran, and we are doing the zikr of Allah. Iltamis qalbak fi salasi mawatin. If your heart really moves during the prayer, if your heart really moves during the salat, if your heart really moves when you're doing the zikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then you have a heart. He said that then you have a heart. Otherwise, ask Allah to give you a heart because you have no heart. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant you a heart because you have no heart. So heart is this way. الذين إذا ذكر الله وجلت قلوبهم وإذا تليت عليهم آياته زادتهم إيمانا. When Allah's name is mentioned, their hearts move, shake. And when their ayat is recited, their iman grows and grows and grows, their iman. So this is one aspect. Now Rasulullah ﷺ was not a mystic, he was not a Sufi. Rasulullah ﷺ was not a philosopher. Rasulullah ﷺ was not a theologian. Because if he would have been a philosopher or a theologian or a mystic, he would have said simply this. Not more than that. Anything, no, nothing. He would not have said anything more than that. No, Rasulullah ﷺ was a messenger of Allah. And the messenger's message is that is, you understand the faith and then you live the faith. And it should change your lifestyle. And it should affect your personality. That's what he wanted to emphasize that. And that is the whole way of life you have to live. So the second thing immediately after that is very mundane things that he mentioned. Something that is common, needed in our daily life. He said, أَدْنَاهَا إِمَاتَةُ الْأَذَى عَنِ الطَّرِيقِ. Your iman must reflect in how you live in your life, how you behave, how you move around. Do you remove obstacles from the road? Now, imatatul adha an tariq, you can take it literally or you can take it metaphorically. You can take it literally, of course. Just a banana peel is there and you say, oh, somebody is going to slip on that. It's not like people do that here nowadays, They stand and watch, see who slips and then they laugh. That's not the way of the believers. Or put something on the way and see that how many people really go and then they stumble on it. Na'udhu billahi min dhalik. Believers are no. Believers don't hurt anyone. They make sure that no human being get hurt, no animal get hurt, nobody get hurt. So go down, they say, take this out, remove it. Imatatul adha an tariq. That's part of your iman. And then you can take it on more broader sense, in the metaphorical sense, that you don't create emotional obstacles. You don't create financial obstacles. You don't create social obstacles, psychological obstacles, all kind of ways people create problems. They create problems in their home, with their families, with their spouses, with their children, with their neighbors, with their co-workers, with their employees, with their employers. All kind of things people do. Some people, they create problems. Instead of solving the problem, they create problems. And that is not the way of the believers. A believer is supposed to remove the problems. A believer is supposed to take away the problems. So wherever you are, in whatever situation you are, your job should be to make it easy. Yassira wala tu'assira, bashira wala tunaffira. Innama bu'ishtum muyassirin. You are sent to make things easy for the people. Don't make things difficult for the people. Don't make things harsh for the people. Don't make things difficult, problematic. So problems have to be removed wherever you are. And that's what the meaning is, adha imatatul adha an tariq. And of course, the whole Sharia explains that. What is Sharia? Sharia is all about that. How to make things good, reasonable, proper, better for everyone. The third aspect that Rasulullah ﷺ mentioned is wal haya'u shu'batun min al-iman. And this is haya. Haya is modesty. It's very difficult to translate that in the English language or in any other language. Probably some of the words are loaded with meaning, and there is no mufrad, there is no single word that can replace that. So haya is modesty, haya is shyness, haya is dignity, honor, respectful way. And this is the way of Islam. لكل دين خلق وخلق الإسلام الحياء. And in one of the hadiths, Rasulullah said, every deen has some character. Every religion has some character. The character of Islam is haya. So a Muslim should be a person of haya. Haya in his talk, haya in his walk, haya in his dress, haya in his dealing with the people. In everything, you try to be dignified, honorable, respectful, humble, caring. And that is, sometimes people use the word haya in the meaning of being shy. There is nothing wrong being shy. But if it is shy means that you can't speak the truth, you don't stand up for what is right, no, that's not the meaning of that. But you feel shy from committing sin. Haya ma'allah. Haya ma'allah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself also has haya. Inna Allah hayy. One of the hadiths of the Prophet said, Allah has haya. And what is the haya of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala haya is that when somebody raising his hands to Allah, asking Allah, he does not let them go empty. He gives something. He gives something. This is the kindness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inna Allah hayyun kareem. Allah is very high and also very kareem. So when you pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with the sincerity and they raise your hands, and in one of the hadith the Prophet said, when somebody with a white beard does that, then he does not want to offend that person. He wants to say, oh, this person at this mature age turning to me and asking me something, give something. So then, and when person is devoting to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when a person is praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when a person is doing good deeds, then of course those prayers are heard. So this is part of our life. This is what we should do if we are expecting from Allah to treat us that way gently and kindly. And then we also have to have gentleness and kindness towards dealing with each other. وَالْحَيَاءُ شُعْبَةٌ مِّنَ الْإِيمَانِ. Of course, that also means, that as has been explained by our ulama, that you dress properly, cover your body. The fashion is not that you show the flesh. The fashion should be that you should cover yourself as properly it should be covered, and you do not expose your body beyond whatever is allowed according to Sharia of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, according to the rule of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us this sense of Iman, these aspects of Iman, and recognize that our Iman is a broad principle, and it will help us grow and grow and grow and become better and better people, inshallah, until we reach to Jannah. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. As-salatu was-salamu ala sayyidil mursaleen, Nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi at-tayyibin at-tahirin. So you have been hearing the news of boycott and Islamophobia, and various kind of groups are creating hate against Islam and Muslims. Of course, we should pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this situation, my advice has always been to try to do good things more to people. Try to become more active in showing kindness and goodness to our neighbors, to our co-workers, so people understand who we are and what we stand for. So I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to remove the difficulties and remove the hate from the minds of the people, and make us live in peace and harmony with each other. Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala abdika wa rasulika Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa ala man tabi'ahum bi ihsanin ila yawmiddin, khususan ala al-khulafa'i al-arba'ah Abi Bakr wa Umar wa Uthman wa Ali, wa ala sayyidain al-shahidain Abi Muhammad al-Hasan wa Abi Abdullah al-Husayn, وعلى أمهما فاطمة الزهراء، وعلى عمه المعزمان المكرمان عند الله والناس والحمزة والعباس، وعلى سائر الصحابة والتابعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين، وعنا معهم بفضلك وكرمك يا أكرم الأكرمين ويا أرحم الراحمين. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم إنا نسألك العفو والعافية والمعافاة الدائمة والفوز بالجنة والنجاة من النار. عباد الله رحمكم الله، إن الصلاة تنهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر ولذكر الله أكبر، فأقيموا الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
لا إله. استووا استووا استقيموا استووا اعتدلوا. Please make your straight, your lines very straight, be close to each other. Allahu Akbar. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. لا إكراه في الدين قد تبين الرشد من الغي فمن يكفر بالطاغوت ويؤمن بالله فقد استمسك بالعروة الوثقى لا انفصام لها والله سميع عليم. الله ولي الذين آمنوا يخرجهم من الظلمات إلى النور والذين كفروا أولياؤهم الطاغوت يخرجونهم من النور إلى الظلمات أولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. الله نور السماوات والأرض مثل نوره كمشكاة فيها مصباح المصباح في زجاجة الزجاجة كأنها كوكب دري يوقد من شجرة مباركة زيتونة لا شرقية ولا غربية يكاد زيتها يضيء ولو لم تمسسه نار نور على نور يهدي الله لنوره من يشاء ويضرب الله الأمثال للناس والله بكل شيء عليم. في بيوت أذن الله أن ترفع ويذكر فيها اسمه يسبح له فيها بالغدو والآصال رجال لا تلهيهم تجارة ولا بيع عن ذكر الله وإقام الصلاة وإيتاء الزكاة يخافون يوما تتقلب فيه القلوب والأبصار ليجزيهم الله أحسن ما عملوا ويزيدهم من فضله والله يرزق من يشاء بغير حساب. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله العظيم الذي لا إله إلا اللهم إني أستغفرك. Please remember in your dua, Sister Hashim Saeed. She is not well. May Allah SWT give her shifa. Dua also for the health of Brother Farooq, Sarah and Soli Isa. Sister Shabnam Khanam also not well. Please pray for her health. So Brother Salahuddin Ahmed had open heart surgery and recovering. Inshallah, may Allah make it a speedy recovery for him. Sister Latifa Begum is not well. Pray for her health. Also pray for Brother Shaheen, who has a tumor, and may Allah SWT bless him. Also Sister Nasa Khan, pray for her health. Also pray for the maghfirah of Sayyida Banu Jafari, passed away in Hyderabad, Pakistan. اللهم اشف مرضانا وارحم موتانا واختم بالصالحات أعمالنا. اللهم إنا نسألك العفو والعافية والمعافاة الدائمة والفوز بالجنة والنجاة من النار. رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
If I can just have 90 seconds of your time, I'd like to summarize three of important announcements that we made earlier. Tomorrow, a renowned Christian evangelist who became Muslim and has devoted many years of his life to da'wah, Sheikh Yusuf Estes, will be here at ISOC from noon to 1. And he'll be talking about the life of the Prophet Isa, especially during this time of Christmas. It is important that we understand and we can convey the true message of Prophet Isa. Then also on Sunday, MYG and Sunday School are organizing a winter carnival, so make sure you come and attend that from 1 to 6. And then starting next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, for the next 3 weeks, starting next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday after Zohar prayers, our own Sheikh Sohail Mullah will be discussing Surah Yusuf, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes this as the most beautiful of stories. All the information is available outside, and also for the next 2 weeks, every Friday is going to be a parking challenge because of the holidays, so please do come early. Inshallah, we'll try to secure the parking lot of Hill School adjacent, and so for our convenience, but please make sure you come early if you're parking on the streets. Make sure you minimize the gap between the cars, but be safe. Thank you again. Assalamu alaikum.